All right, I just have a couple of announcements that I want to make before we have lunch. Lots of things happening next week that I want to bring to your attention. First thing is we're having, on Tuesday, April 9th, it's the Red Sox Fenway Park opening day. So we're going to have a opening day kind of party here and at the Senior Center for lunch. And we actually have 2 Red Sox tickets that were donated to us that we're going to be raffling off. The Red Sox game is at, of course, Fenway Park. It's a home game. It's April 23rd. It's a Tuesday night. I think they're playing Detroit. The raffle tickets are 1 ticket for $10, 5 tickets for $40. And this is a fundraiser for the activity. So Sally over here is, if anyone's interested in buying tickets, Sally is going to be walking around doing that. And we thank you for your cooperation with that and helping us out. Also next week, April 10th, I think that's a Wednesday, we're doing a shopping trip to Salvation Army. That's the senior day, so you do get discounts. So see Sally for that trip, and there's also a sign-up sheet on the bulletin board regarding that. Next Friday is our clam chowder contest. If anyone wants to sign up for that, to bring in your favorite recipe for clam chowder, cook a batch of clam chowder, and we're going to do a taste test to find out who the winner of that clam chowder best cook clam chowder cooker, or whatever you want to call it, will be on Friday, April 12th. All right, and then also I wanted to let you know that there's a trip, there was a restaurant trip for Friday, April 26th. The location of that trip has been changed to Empire Buffet in Woonsocket. The sign-up sheet is on that for that. If you're interested, that's a Chinese restaurant. All right. I think I got everything. So right after folks are served for lunch, we're going to, the chief is going to announce our speakers from Tri-Valley Elder Services. And we also have a yoga meeting at 12:30 as well. So busy day today, lots happening. If you are signed up for yoga, we'll be passing around the registration forms once our speakers come at 12:30. Just so you know, that yoga class is filled. We are taking folks on a waiting list. So if you are signed up, let us know, and then we'll be filling out the registration forms today. Those classes start on April 11th. And we've had just a wonderful response to those classes. So hopefully we'll be having more in the future as well. All right, why don't we do a moment of silence before lunch, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started today because we've got a very busy schedule. We have to be completed by 12:30, I believe. So what I'd like to do is introduce to you our guest speakers today. What I used to know as Tri-Valley Elders is actually now called Tri-Valley Inc. because they service people who are not elders in addition. And today we have 2 guest speakers. One is Patty Berthium and Emily Harney, and they're going to speak to us about protective services, crisis intervention, money management, and state home care. So without further ado, I think we're going to start with Patty. Is that right?
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay in the back? Okay. So I'm the Director of Protective Services, Crisis Intervention, and Money Management. So I'm going to be covering those 3 programs. I'm going to do it very briefly. I usually do a full program, which takes about an hour and a half. And I'm going to try to condense it down to about 10 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. So the major program that I cover is Protective Services. A lot of people have a misconception that Protective Services are just going to come into the homes of the elders and take them out of their home and put them in nursing homes so that everyone will be happy. That is the farthest from the truth, okay? Protective services covers several different areas. We get involved when there's concerns about physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, caretaker neglect, financial exploitation, and self-neglect. We get reports from anyone. So anyone here, if you have concerns about yourself, a neighbor, a friend, a family member, you can call in and make a report. In the back, we have brochures that have the number. We now have a centralized intake unit, so you have to call just one number, and that will cover anywhere in the whole state. So if you have a friend in a different area and you want to report, you can call that same number, and they'll be able to direct it to the right agency that covers it. So each type of abuse, what we look at if you call in a report is there enough for us to look into the situation or not? So if it's physical abuse, we look at, is there a concern that someone might be getting hit or threatened to be hit? Emotional abuse, is there yelling and screaming to the point that it's impacting the elder? Caretaker neglect, caretakers often get overwhelmed. And it's not that they don't want to take care of someone, it's sometimes they need to take a nap. And the elder who has dementia wanders. So those types of things are reportable. Sexual abuse is actually one that's very underreported, but does happen, and we do look into it. Financial exploitation. We find that when the economy gets really tough, there's a lot of exploitation that goes on with elders. A lot of elders have big pensions and stuff like that, so people can easily access their money. So if you find your money missing, give us a call. And self-neglect, so these involve people who are involved with scams. That's very big. If anyone's ever interested, I do a whole presentation on that as well. How to protect yourself, what to look out for, how not to become a victim of scams. So what happens once we get a report is a worker is assigned. They go out and meet with the elder directly, discuss the situation, discuss the concerns that were brought up in the report, and we ask them what their situation is for them. And then we try to contact collaterals, anyone who might be familiar with the situation and be able to give us some information. Once that's all done, the worker meets with the supervisor and we decide, do we have enough to open or not open the case? If it's not opened, we might offer some resources or other sources for them to get some help. But if it's opened, then what we do is we offer some support. So if someone has been physically abused, it might be that we help them go to court and get a restraining order so that the person cannot abuse them anymore. If they're being emotionally abused, we might offer to help set them up with some counseling. We don't do it directly, but we can help them get it through their insurance so that they can get the support they needed. We're always looking at the least restrictive, most appropriate. So as long as someone's safe in the community, that's where we want to support them. We are not there to just take them out of their home. Protective Services is a support program to alleviate the abuse and support the elder in the community, in their own home where they would like to remain. There are cases where that can't be done. If you have a wanderer who has no one to watch them and they could walk out in the middle of the road and they don't understand that's dangerous, then we might have to step in and have them placed. But that's always a last resort. So please call us. We are here to support you. If you want to file the report, as I mentioned, you just call the 1-800 number. They will walk you through. They'll ask you a lot of questions. Don't worry if you don't have the answer. Don't feel you need to know every single thing in order to make a report. Give as much information as you can give. And our services are each individual. One person might get help with the court system, one might get counseling, one might get home care services or help with housing. It's all individual depending on what's going on with the person. So that's a real quick overview of Protective Services. If you're not sure, always call our department. We are more than willing to talk to anyone who calls up and is not sure. We'll go through the situation with you. We'll let you know, yes, this is reportable and we really need a report. Or maybe here's some other options that you could use instead. So please don't hesitate to call. My cards will be back there as well with the brochures. Feel free to call me directly. Our crisis intervention program is a program that really backs up our protective services. So if protective can't get involved, the risk is too low, it doesn't meet all the criteria, crisis can help. They do a lot. Lately, housing authorities have been evicting a lot of people, and because there's a long wait list. So we help find out why are they being evicted, what can we do to help support them. We help get them hooked up with legal aid, community legal aid, to make sure that they get legal representation. They also get involved a lot with the scams. Like I mentioned earlier, we've had people who have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to scams. They are very good. They're all out there. So if you think something might be a scam, it probably is. Best to check with the police, because they've probably heard of that certain scam. Crisis also gets involved with substance abuse and mental health issues. Both those areas, there's not a lot of supports out there right now. So the crisis intervention workers can help assist getting people hooked up with the right resources to address those issues. And the last program that I deal with is our money management program, which is a fantastic program. As people get older, sometimes it's very difficult to write out your checks. Your eyesight might be going. You might have arthritis in your hands. You might have a little confusion and you're not sure what bills should I pay, what bills are actually scams. This program offers two ways of handling that. We have a bill payer who can go into the home, help you go through your mail, determine what you need to pay, what you don't need to pay. They can write out the checks for you. All you have to do is sign them, and they'll help you get them into the mail. It's been great for people who have forgotten to pay their rent. They're facing eviction. We get money management in. Now their rent's paid on a regular basis, and they get to stay at home. Sometimes people are like, I have to pay all the bills. No, that's a charity. You don't have to pay it. It's more important to pay your rent. So they can help you make those kind of decisions. We also have a rep payee program. And what that does is if someone's on just Social Security, the Social Security check comes to Tri-Valley, and then we write out all the checks from there. And then we give you the spending money that you need after that. That way, if you can't even sign your name, you can still maintain living in your home, and that support is there to make sure your bills are paid so you can remain there safely. I will be around for a while, so after this, if anyone has questions or anything, feel free to come see me. Like I said, I'll leave my card. So if you have questions later that you want to discuss, please feel free to give me a call. Okay? Thank you.
Not done yet. How's lunch, everybody? Good, good. Okay, my name's Emily. I'm from the State Home Care Department at Tri-Valley. And you may recognize me because I'm usually here once a month on a Monday for the Benefit Enrollment Center. So that would be help with filling out applications. So things like Mass Health, food stamps, heating assistance, SafeLink phones, housing, that type of thing. So if that's something you're interested in, please see Lisa and she'll be able to set up a time for us to meet, and I'll help you here at the center. So if you're interested, well, let me start off. Does anybody have state home care here? Anybody have like a homemaker that comes in and helps them from Tri-Valley? Show of hands. A couple people? Okay. All right. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in services or you may not know what you need, you can always call into Tri-Valley and speak with our information and referral department. So the common misconception is that a medical professional needs to call in and make that referral. No, anyone can make a referral. You can make a referral on yourself, on a spouse, a friend. If you're a caregiver of someone, you can always make a referral that way. And someone like myself would come out and do an assessment, go over a care plan with you, see what you need help with in the home. So you don't just have to call in if you want to make a referral. We also have a lot of information available at Tri-Valley as well. So whether you're a caregiver looking for caregiver supports, we have things like this new caregiver guide, so it's a good tool if you need some more resources. We also have support groups for caregivers as well as classes. Other information, like if you need help with transportation, if you need a listing of nursing homes in the area, that's also something that we have. So when you call in, you get to speak to a live person, like I said. and they can direct you to whatever appropriate department that you need. So me and Patty will be around in the back if you need more information or have questions. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your lunch.
Thank you. I hope you found that informative. And can we have a brief round of applause for Lynn, who did a great job cooking? Thank you. I think Lynn's in the back, but she heard you. Okay, thank you, folks. We'll be wrapping up, and the next program will start in about 10 minutes.
Linda, Kirk, and Laurie Mayer come forward from the State of Grace Yoga. They're located in Uxbridge. We developed a collaboration with State of Grace Yoga to provide this yoga class. This is a grant that was completed through the Area Agency on Aging. The Senior Center was awarded this grant to sponsor this yoga class. All right, so I want to introduce Laurie and Linda, and they're going to talk a few minutes about the yoga class that they're going to be presenting. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Everybody hear me okay?
I just want to say, first of all, thanks for having me today. And thank you, Lisa, for this opportunity to collaborate with you. So I am the owner of State of Grace Yoga and Wellness Center, which is right down the street on East Hartford Ave. And I've actually owned that for about 2 years, and I'm really excited to get out more into the community. So this is Linda Kirk, who will be teaching the class. And that class actually is starting next Thursday. So, and we are completely booked, so the class is full as of right now, but hopefully we'll be able to offer a bit more as we move forward. So just to give you a little information about State of Grace Yoga and Wellness, I bought it again 2 years ago and am really trying to make it more into a wellness center. So really bringing health and wellness to the community and bringing alternative health care to the community. So I was hoping to just talk really briefly about my history and kind of what brought me to this industry and the wellness industry. So about 15 years ago, I actually got an illness and got very sick and didn't know what to do. I'm sorry, can everybody hear me? You guys can't hear me back there? Okay, thanks everybody. So about 15 years ago, I came down with an illness, and unfortunately it was very debilitating and didn't really know what I was going to do. I actually ended up out of work, which was not something that I ever did. So doctors really couldn't help me with my illness, and I ended up having to research a lot of things myself, including yoga and acupressure and acupuncture. So those two things really helped my body remember how to heal itself. So I really am on a mission to bring this to as many people as possible, to let all of you know that there's really no reason for any suffering or any pain, and that there's a lot out there that can help you, okay? So on that note, we're really excited about the Arthritis Program. This program actually was tested in a hospital setting by a PhD at Johns Hopkins University. And it was proven that yoga really helped many people decrease pain, not only physical pain, but emotional pain. We have lots of people coming in. I'm so happy that you all came today. It's a big turnout. This is awesome. So I think everybody is getting a handout that's related to the Arthritis Program with all the benefits, okay? So I wanted to talk a little bit about yoga and what it is. So I'm going to ask all of you, what do you think yoga is? Anybody want to shout anything out? What is yoga? A form of exercise. Yes, good. A form of exercise. Anybody? Meditation. Excellent. Yes, meditation. Love it. Anybody else have any ideas? Yay, stress relief. Very good. Awesome, Lisa. So yoga is many, many things. I think a lot of people think of yoga, they think of kind of these really crazy poses that we need to get our bodies into, and that's not what yoga is at all, okay? Yoga is many things, but it's really a lifestyle. It's creating more happiness, it's creating more health in your life, and you are able to do that on your own by yourself. Okay? You have everything within your body, within your energetic body to do that. I know this because I did it myself and I help people every single day do it. Okay? So yoga is a few things. I'm going to start with mindfulness, okay? Meditation, breath work, and also poses, which we call asanas in Sanskrit for yoga. But poses are actually the way that we kind of learn how to meditate, all right? So that's how we get our body and our mind and our spirit all combined into one and balanced, back into a balanced state like when we were born. When we were born, we were very balanced, right? Our body was healthy, you know, it knew what it needed. So the goal is to get back into that balanced state, okay? Does that help a little bit? No? Yes? So as far as this particular program, back to the Yoga for Arthritis, at State of Grace, we are offering many different programs. So we're really excited to bring it to you guys here, and Lisa made that possible through some grants and stuff. So there are many benefits to this program. I'm not going to name all of them, but just a few. You could enjoy improved strength and joint stability, okay? Reduced pain. So whether you have arthritis or not, any pain at all, yoga helps with. Not only yoga, but other types of body work as well, and we can talk more if you have questions at the end about that. Greater mobility and movement. Helping your balance so that you don't have any falls. That's very important. And having more of an ability to do daily activities, reaching things in the kitchen, you know, whatever you need to do. Improving your energy, increasing your energy level. Who could use more energy? Right? And just so that you all know, every single day I practice yoga and breath work so I can increase my own energy, because that was part of my illness, okay, is chronic fatigue. And the one thing I also want to mention too is emotional balance. So I see lots and lots of people every day for pain, and most of the time that pain, whether it's physical or emotional, it has an emotional basis to it. Okay? So I work with many people on anxiety, depression, you know, anger, whatever it is, that helps with the physical pain too. So yoga helps with emotional pain. As you move through the poses, you're moving that energy out of your body, all right? All great stuff, right? So, did I miss anything, Linda? I'm going to open it up for questions. Do you have any questions specifically about this program or anything else right now? No? Oh, yes.
So, excuse me. Hi, I'm Linda. So for as far as clothing, the question was what type of clothing to wear. Should just wear loose fitting, you know, something that you can move in, stretch in, so nothing too tight along the waist, and able to move the arms up and down. So nothing that would be too tight around any of the joints. Just comfortable clothing, so loose fitting type clothing. And we were going to, we had such an overwhelming response, which was wonderful. We probably will not be using yoga mats because we just won't have the space to spread everybody out. So normally yoga is done barefoot, so we will be using our shoes, non-slip shoes. So just in case, the program is basically a chair program that we're going to be doing. But over time, as the weeks pass, we may add some other standing poses assisted by the chair, or depending on wherever you're comfortable. So we'll want to have non-slip footwear, okay?
I'm going to repeat that for you guys over here. So very loose clothing, so nothing tight around the waist. Okay, maybe sweatpants, a t-shirt is fine, whatever you're very comfortable in. And the actual class here is going to need to be in chairs because we had so many people that responded. We're going to just have a chair class, and you will need to wear your shoes to make sure that it's not going to be a slip. You know, no one's going to slip on the floor. Okay? Any other questions right now? Yes. Yes. Will the lights stay on?
Can you, like, can some of them be turned on and some off, like partially? Okay.
So we can turn them down, yes. It's a little bright in here, right? Yeah, and in yoga we want to have it a little bit, more dim. Absolutely. Yep. So we are going to start with some very slow movements, easy breath work. Oh, I'm sorry, you had a question. And maybe I'll let Linda talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so especially the very first class, we'll be covering all of the basics. So we will be practicing a breath work and just basically working with our natural breath, understanding what the breath is and how it affects our body and our practice. And meditation and mindfulness. I will take you through guided meditations to close the practice, and we'll have our movement practice between. So we always start with the breath work to settle in and center and connect mind and body. And then we'll go through our movement practice, and then we'll finish with guided meditation to close the practice. So it's a rejuvenating but not fast pace. It's very gentle, slow movement, kind of very mindful movement, very methodical movement. What else? But one thing I do want to say is, because this is very important to all of us in the yoga world, and it's the rule that we live by. I will call it the golden rule of yoga, is non-harming. So people hear stories all the time of yoga injury because of the types of intense poses that people get into, that, as Laurie alluded to. This is very gentle, and yoga is here to help heal and calm your body and mind. So that's what we'll be working with. That's our focus, is non-harming to yourself and others. And that's also alluding to what Laurie said about yoga is a lifestyle. So through your yoga practice, you can learn to have self-compassion, self-care, loving kindness for yourself and others. So that's a really important. So that'll be the basis of our practice. We'll be working with all those concepts for a holistic approach. Okay? Any question?
What's the history of it? Where did it come from?
Actually, good question. The question was, what is the history of yoga? Where did it come from? Thousands of years ago, there's debate on how long ago, but at least 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, yoga was designed by the practitioners in India for meditation, because they would sit in meditation in a cross-legged position and sit for hours and hours, like sometimes 8, 10, 12 hours. It was very painful for the body. So they designed the actual physical process of the physical postures and this movement and opening the muscles, lengthening the muscles, making space in the joints, lengthening the spine, which is very important, so they could actually have a healthier, stronger body in order to sit in meditation. So that's the basis of it. Yeah. Good question. Thank you. I'm sorry? It will absolutely improve your posture. We have a lot of our focus is in lengthening the spine, so sitting upright, opening across the heart, so working to draw the shoulders back and strengthen all the chest muscles and the muscles of the spine and the hips, so that your spine is more upright and will help you stand stronger. Any other questions? No? All right. Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. We look forward to next Thursday for the first class, and we will see you then, we hope.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to let everyone know if you could fill out the registration forms. If you want to take it home and bring it to the first class on the 11th, on next week on Thursday, that's fine as well. I am asking you just to sign the sign-off sheet here. Sally and Gail are over there. If you can just sign on your way out, we would appreciate that. You have something
I
else?
have one thing I want to add. Yeah. Excuse me. For as far as your health information, I know that, of course, our health is very personal, but it is really important, and I and Lori, I will include Lori in this, will be the only ones that see these cards, and they will be stored properly and confidentially, but we need as much information as possible. So even if you think it's just relating to the physical, arthritis or pain management, please be sure to include any other conditions, diabetes, heart condition, any issues with eye pressure, glaucoma, anything like that, because some of the movements have an effect on some of those conditions. So I'm going to be studying these cards to make sure I understand everyone's physical condition so that I can tailor the practice accordingly so that everyone is safe, healthy, and well-being in mind. Okay?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next Thursday.
What time is it?
1:30 to 2:30. And it is for 8 weeks. There is 1 week that we will not have the class, but we'll let you know that on Thursday.